Hello and welcome to the Faster Way to Process US Student Loans webinar. Really glad you could join us. We're going to have a really focused session for you today, and our aims are pretty simple: to make your jobs easier and improve how you process US student loans as a non-US university. Whether you're just starting on this road or are an experienced practitioner, we'll have something that benefits you. We're going to try and keep this to 15 minutes as promised, so we won't be doing a live Q&A session, but please do enter your questions in the Q&A box on your screen. I will contact you directly after the session. My name is Hugh Torby. I'm the content manager here at Transformate, and I'll be your MC and questioner in chief. I'm joined by two fantastic panelists: Jonathan Church, who is an expert in the way money moves around the world and has led the development of Transformate's global account solution. Hey, Jonathan.
Hello, everyone.
And we've got Aoife Walsh, who has worked in the education payment sector for over a decade, so knows all the practicalities inside and out, and has been on the front line with customers all that time, making her intimately aware of the challenges and requirements you guys have. Hey, Aoife.
Hi, Hugh. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone at home.
Hey, thanks a million, guys. So, as I said, a really focused session today where we want to help you in three basic areas when it comes to processing US student loans: speed, cost, and ease. We want to save your university significant administration time, and it really is significant in a lot of cases. Improve the transparency you have over payments and the control you have over your cash flow, and how you can enhance the student experience and save them time and money too. The format we're going to take is a question and answer session with summary at points at the end of each question to highlight the key learnings. So to jump straight in, and this one's for you, Aoife, starter for 10, as they would say. What are the inefficiencies in processing of US student loans for non-US universities?
Thanks, Hugh, and thanks to everyone for joining us at home. There are obviously lots of ways universities process these US loan payments, but there are a couple of fundamental issues most will face. First up is speed. This is both in actual processing time, but also the number of steps administratively you have to take to push a payment through. When processing checks, for example, it can take 4 to 8 weeks, sometimes even longer, from the moment that a check is received to when the money lands in your account, without going through all the steps, which would take probably the entire webinar to go through. And this is because it has to move through the traditional corresponding banking system and all third-party parties that come with that. That's for the universities without US bank accounts and when processing checks directly, and it's probably the most extreme case. However, it can also be slow and laborious process for those universities that have gone to the effort to set up a local account. There can be challenges with getting an EIN number, a DUNS number, tax implications. In these cases, a lot of those third parties are cut out, but it still requires a lot of manual processing and allocating from the university's financial teams. It's still moving through the international banking chain, for example. The second is cost. In the check process, we can talk about every one of the third parties will take a cut of the pie, if you like, even though generally small in each instance, can add up cumulatively, making it difficult to reconcile the payments, and usually the cost is passed on to the student, which is not ideal at all. And the student effectively receives a lesser amount towards their living expenses. And this is not taking into account the FX rates when the payment crosses borders, which can be considerable for even those universities with a local banking presence. And the final aspect is ease. This can be relatively straightforward, and we'll talk later on how to do that. But the traditional banking way of doing payments through international banking rails is a very manual process. It's got lots of double checking in multiple systems, and you can get good and bad foreign exchange rates based on the day that you want to process the payments out once they're received. All of the above can combine and lead to frustrating reconciliation process, and whenever you have frustration, the inevitable outcome is that more time is spent working on an issue that shouldn't have required extra work.
That's great, really good answer there. I sort of have this slide to sum up the efficiencies, so you can tell me where I'm wrong here. So we're kind of at overview. We're looking at long administration times, difficult costs to control and predict, unnecessary fees and costs handed on to the student, and then at the end, a difficult reconciliation process. Would that be it? Anything you'd like to add to that?
Other than the more I've talked to universities and discovered the difficult, arduous steps they've taken to solve these issues, we can still help them make it even better.
Yeah, super. I'd like to talk about just why these efficiencies even exist. But Aoife, before I move on from you, can you put a dollar amount on how much this costs universities and their students?
Yes, of course. Even each university will have their nuances. We estimate that each check and process will somewhere be between $30 to $50, sometimes more. It's really hard to put a factual payment on that because every bank has its different costs and charges. The FX charges will be up to 3% and sometimes more, and the administrative time is significant. To put a dollar amount on 3%, if the fee value is 30k, for example, like that's £900 or €900. So the FX costs can be considerable, and that money can go a long way towards the student's rent or their day-to-day living expenses. And it is always hard to put a figure on the administrative time, but every hour that your financial expert team is working on unnecessary problems or reconciliation costs the university money.
Yeah, super, really good points there. And now over to you, Jonathan. Why does this all exist? What are the fundamental issues here?
The joys of the banking system, Hugh, is the high level answer. If we look at checks, first of all, checks are one of the oldest forms of payment. So if you want to pay by check, that has to go back to the account holding branch normally for processing. So that's the reason why, if you're doing that process internationally, it takes the long period that Aoife described to do that. A way of making that faster is to do a check negotiation process, which most banks offer, where they'll pay you the funds earlier, but that comes with a lot of the large deductions, generally unfavourable FX rates, and some of the costs and bits and pieces that Aoife also mentioned. Even for those that have moved away from checks and onto having bank accounts, managing overseas bank accounts from where you're based comes with costs, administration, time zone issues if you're based in Europe and managing an account in the US with a US bank. And again, that adds up to distraction of resources, time and effort and hassle spent. So the best way is probably just using an analogy. Over Easter, I was away in Italy and I got to look at some nice old Roman roads. Even when you throw new technologies such as check digitization and more efficient bank processes, all you're doing is effectively trying to use better technology on very old Roman roads, whereas we're trying to be a fintech and rip up the rule book and basically come up with a newly tarmacked ring road to go around that problem.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. Just as someone relatively new to this area, really when you pull behind or look behind the banking curtain, you do notice how many things have been done for thousands of years without a huge amount of fundamental change. So in summary, what I've got here is traditional banking is such a vast network built over those centuries that we've added in steps everywhere where they don't really need to be. And that means a lot of third parties as well. That causes significant workload and manual processes. Obviously, then it costs money for both the university and student, and the outcome is sometimes you have to do it all again. Anything you'd add to that, guys?
No, apart from I'm loving Jonathan's analogy. I might borrow that when I'm speaking to our clients.
I will charge you for it, Aoife.
It's making me think of booking a holiday to Rome now as well.
Absolutely.
So we're going to stick with you for a minute, Jonathan. What is the alternative way to process US student loan payments? What is the solution to all this in the fundamental way of looking at it?
Yeah, great question, Hugh. And I guess the reason we're all here. Yeah. There's probably a bit of context around Transformate I'd cover first of all, which is we've really invested in three major foundations globally, which is we've put an entire licensing footprint and associated compliance program in place. So we've got the largest non-bank payments licensing footprint in the world. Secondly, we've worked with very large, household name partner banks and our own internal treasury infrastructure to put that out consistently everywhere. And then thirdly, we've put out our own proprietary systems and platforms to execute payments and to offer global accounts on, and we use the same platforms globally, so we've got that consistent global infrastructure. What those three foundations allow us to do is offer locally addressable, unique account detail wallets, so addressable wallets available via the local rail. So you can open a US dollar global account quickly and easily at the click of a few buttons, and through that US dollar global account, you can be paid by the loan issuing body via a US dollar local low-cost electronic payment. You can then easily convert that into another currency for onward payment to a student, for withdrawal to your own main bank accounts, to pay other expenses in other currencies as you wish. So you get a very fast, easy to stand up, multi-currency account proposition from us, because we've built those consistent global foundations.
Super. It almost sounds like a sort of a new payments infrastructure that has been built over the century, that sort of that ring road that you were talking about. What are the benefits to the university by taking this route, by moving away from that sort of traditional methods and leveraging this new payments infrastructure?
It's all around that time, that cost, and kind of ease alleviation, going back to what Aoife said. So, in terms of time, you can open, once you're onboarded with TransforMate, you can open one of these global accounts in about 30 seconds. Later on, we'll show you a video of just how quickly and easy it is to do. So you can get a live, ready to receive payments US dollar account very, very quickly. And as soon as you receive those funds, they are cleared, available for you to then convert into another currency, withdraw as you need. And also you get to leverage the competitive and advantageous FX rates that TransforMate offers. So there will be more funds left over for you and more funds left over for the student, which I know is incredibly important in this sector as part of the loan processing.
Yeah, super. And I sort of put together this slide just to summarize those benefits for the universities and the students. So it's much faster processing time we talked about this, from 3 to 4 weeks with checks to a single day. Significantly less administration time, amount paid equals amount received. And then I think really important to reinforce those points, the proactive money laundering protection and a fully regulated process, because of that system that TransforMate has built up over the years and really put the legwork into it. So back to you, Aoife, getting down to practicalities. For those interested in getting this process in place for their own universities, what do they need to do and how long will it take?
Super simple, and it's laid out here on the next slide. Basically, all you need to do is contact TransforMate to get set up. It's open to our existing and new clients. Our clients will be given a dedicated client success manager, and they'll help you set up the account. But as Jonathan said, it's super easy. It only takes 20-30 seconds to get set up. And once you're set up, you provide your US loan company with the new global account details, and thereafter your US loan company will settle all funds straight to your global account. You'll get instant notifications once funds arrive to your account by email, and you can immediately clear these funds and make them available to withdraw and convert to currency, or pay out directly to your students, however you choose. So yes, super simple.
Super. So in summary, really, the alternative system is cheaper, faster, and more efficient. It does have the slightly too good to be true ring about it. So how do TransforMate benefit out of this? How do we make our revenues?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most common questions that I get from our customers. For the value we deliver, we earn revenue in 2 ways. We make a small amount of profit on a reduced margin on the foreign exchange, basically. Due to the fact that TransforMate purchases large volumes of foreign exchange daily, we pass on the savings we garner from the volume. It's a high volume, low margin model. So basically the banking infrastructure that we've built and that Jonathan has discussed previously over the years, and the volumes that we working allows us to charge much less to our customers than other providers.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Thanks so much for you guys for all those insights. We're on the home stretch now, and to give you guys at home a visual look at how global accounts can work for universities, we've put together this 90-second video. But before I press play, Jonathan, do you want to add any further context to this global accounts product for non-universities processing US student loans?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Hugh. So the video should, I hope, be fairly self-explanatory, but and hope bring it to life. What it will show you is how quickly you can activate a global account, which would be unique account details and for use in your name, how you can copy those details either to use it to pay into yourself or to give those bank details to the loan issuing company to pay you. And then we'll show you how doing a conversion in the context of US loans from US dollars into your home currency would work instantaneously as well to allow you to pay those out to your own bank account or to a student or to pay for other expenses, as you need.
Super, great stuff. All right, I'll press play then.
Global Accounts by Transformate allows you to hold, pay and receive in multiple currencies at one time. In this video, you'll see how easy it is for a university to set up, top up and convert currencies using global accounts. Once activated, global account bank details will be issued in real time, including your own unique BIC and international bank account number where available. Simply click on the Activate button next to the currency you wish to open a global account in. The activation pop-up allows you to read and accept the terms and conditions and confirm the activation request with no extra documentation required. Once activated, your global account is immediately available for use. Adding funds is quick and easy. Simply select the top-up button and copy details of your Transformate global account. The copied global account bank details can be used with your other bank's online portal, mobile app or other payment connection to send funds to your Transformate global account directly. Once processed, funds available are shown in real time. You will also be able to view your full transaction history to and from your global account, including student loan payments and relevant currency conversion. Converting funds between your global accounts in different currencies is easy to do. Select and Convert brings up the pop-up so you can execute the conversion and be shown live FX rates. Hitting Convert completes and confirms the trade to move funds between your global accounts in the respective currencies. Once converted, global account balances are updated in real time, and the conversion will be visible in the balance and transaction reporting for your global accounts. And that's how easy it is. With Transformate's global accounts, you can manage all domestic and international payments, including student loans, in your own dedicated global account.
So I hope that shows you the power of this platform. Seeing that process of setting up a new account in a matter of seconds really drove it home for me. This product combined with Transformate's education solutions can really transform how you guys operate for the better. I'd like to end the main part of our presentation with a word from one of our clients and how they benefited from partnering with us. We are proud to work with many universities, both at home and abroad, and it's a core part of our business and our value proposition. As you can see here from Erasmus University, they've been really able to speed up their process and make bottom line savings at the same time. And talking about our business, I want to give you a 60-second overview of who we are before we leave, in case you aren't aware. We like to say we're the builders of a new payments infrastructure for universities, businesses and other organizations that need a more efficient way to pay. We're the high-speed train, and we haven't built that train alone. We've worked with several banks, both as partners and investors, to create an infrastructure that's secure, reliable, and brings real value to our customers. And that security is a core part of our business. Risk compliance is really the fundamental building block, and we're proud to have a multi-award winning risk compliance team at the helm. You can see here we work with some of the biggest brands in the world across a wide variety of sectors, including some of the leading platforms in education payments and universities. So, if you want to get in touch and chat with us about how we can support you, please do, either with Aoife or Jonathan directly, or by simply going to our website and booking a demo. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I don't think we've gone too far over the 15 minutes promised, and I hope you did find it a valuable use of your time. Jonathan, Aoife, thanks so much for your time too.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.